Question 20C, figure 20.3, shows how the respiratory quotient of an athlete changed during exercise from rest 0% up to 100% for maximum effort. We can see that as the intensity of exercise increases, the RQ is increasing from 0.7, which is typically indicative of respiring lipids, up to nearly 0.95 or possibly just a tad below that. State the two measurements for part 1 that you would need to make during the experiment to calculate respiratory quotient. So they're just testing your knowledge here of that equation. So we simply need the volume of oxygen consumed, and we also need the volume of carbon dioxide, which is being produced. So oxygen, which is inhaled, versus carbon dioxide, which is exhaled. So we can see here, we're just saying the volume of oxygen is inhaled, volume of carbon dioxide is produced. You only have to say inhaled or consumed in order to get the mark, and the same for carbon dioxide produced or exhaled. For C part 2, explain what the graph shows about the respiratory substrates used at different intensities of exercise. Well, I've already touched upon how it's starting at 0.7, so that typically indicates lipids. So if they were resting at 0, it means they were respiring lipids at rest. But as they begin to exercise at a greater intensity, we can see that RQ value is increasing. So that typically indicates that they're going to be respiring carbohydrates. We typically don't burn protein, we don't respire it. So we are instead going to be talking about carbohydrates. Now, we haven't got all the way up to 1, which is the RQ value of carbohydrates, which means that we are increasing our proportion of carbohydrates which we're respiring, but we're not exclusively respiring them. We are still respiring some lipids, which is why we never reach 1 entirely. So let's take a look at how we'd write that. So here's our model answer. At rest, the RQ is 0.7, so lipids are being used, but as the intensity of exercise increases, carbohydrates begin to be used as well, because the RQ is increasing towards 1. That's how we can tell, remember. Because the RQ does not reach 1, it indicates that lipids are always being used alongside carbohydrates. And we could add here as well that the proportion of lipids which is being used is decreasing as we proceed, so we could add that in also.